Hey everybody, it's Antonio Beeler at Abrome with the first update of 2018, and the first update is a good update. The big news that we have to share with you is that we just finished with a 5-day shadow over 2 weeks with a 5-year-old learner whose parents are filling out the application and will enroll. So that's really big news. On top of that, we have a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old both starting to shadow with us tomorrow for 5 days. And then next Thursday, we're gonna have a 6-year-old shadow with us. So we've had some really good momentum lately. We're really psyched about the fact that parents are willing to allow their children to lead remarkable lives. We know that's a scary thing. We know that the rest of society expects children to be at traditional schools where they're forced to go through curriculum, and allowing young people to develop real interests, to really promote their own love of learning, and to be able to do things in a very deep, meaningful way to them so that they are prepared for the rest of their lives to deal with the ups and downs of life is a really hard step to take for many families. And we know it's even harder when the options available are so slim, so few, and in those spaces there's not necessarily a lot of learners. So a special shout out and thanks to the parents who have wanted their children to lead remarkable lives through a self-directed learning space, who have decided to go ahead and move forward to checking out these spaces and shadowing at Abrome. Because of their willingness to try it out and to see if emancipated learning is possible, they are going to make it that much easier for future families to go ahead and take that leap once there's more social proof. There's ample scientific research into how people learn and motivation, which shows that self-directed learning is best. And there's ample case studies of people who've been unschooled or who have gone to democratic schools or free schools that show that not only is this a viable alternative, but for the vast majority of people, it's a better alternative to the traditional schools. So once again, thanks to everyone who is moving forward in the process with us and who is investigating other forms of self-directed learning. If you want to learn more about emancipated learning and Abrome, I would encourage you to drop by the next information session and open house, which is going to be on February 10th here at Abrome. You can go to abrome.com to register online for that open house and information session, or come to the next ETA Alternative School Fair, which is February 17th at the Spider House Ballroom. We're going to have a whole collection of alternative schools, some that are self-directed learning spaces such as Abrome, to the more progressive schools that are still great alternatives to traditional school for many families. So come out to one of those two events. You can find out more at abrome.com or go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Abrome. Well, that's the really big news, and I'm glad that you guys all dropped in to hear about that. A lot of people have been asking, who is Antonio and why did you start Abrome? If you come to an information session, you'll find out. But there is a recent article that came out about me in the Progressive magazine, and you can find that online, or you can go to Barnes & Nobles and pick up an article. What's unique about this article is, for those who don't know, I spent a lot of my free time, the stuff that I do outside of education, on issues of police brutality and police abuse. So it touches upon that, and I've had a fair amount of coverage on that issue over the past 5 years. But I've not had anyone cover that and also talk about my education effort, which takes up 95% of my time. And so what I like about this article in the Progressive magazine is that they actually touch upon both, and they try to tie the two together, because there is a reason why I dedicate so much of my life to helping young people, but also to helping people who are trying to deal with really aggressive and abusive policing. So check it out. That's it for this week. I will hopefully get you another update next week.